Yo, what's good everybody? It's Guy and Kicks here with another review, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate when you enter a raffle or a draw, let's say through the Sneakers app. It's a particular pair of sneakers that you probably don't truly love or you probably don't need, but you still enter the draw anyway because the chances of you getting that W is still very, very slim. You go ahead and enter the draw and you get the W and you're like, okay, that's cool. But when you get the shoes in hand and you open the box and you see them for the first time, it just changes everything. Well, that recently happened to me when I got the Retro 185 in the Georgetown colorway. Let's talk about these. So these released on April 2nd, 2022 for a retail price of $200. I was able to get these through the Sneakers app. These are my first Retro 185s that I get, or 85 cuts, however you want to call it. So I was excited to get these in hand, but still it wasn't a colorway that I initially loved or really wanted. But like I said already, got them in hand and just changed everything. The official colorway on these is white, gray, and navy, aka the Georgetown colorway. Most of us probably know the history behind the Retro 1. The Retro 1 is obviously the first Jordan ever. It is the first sneaker that Jordan wore as a rookie. He signed with Nike back then for $2.5 million. He initially wanted to sign with Adidas, but Adidas dropped the ball there, so the rest is history. With this version of the 85 or the 85 cut is supposed to resemble the original Retro 1 from back in 1985. The upper on these 85s are primarily made out of that leather material. As you can see, the overlays are in that navy color, and then the underlays are in the gray color. You have the swoosh on both lateral and medial side in that navy color as well. The tongue is constructed out of that nylon material, similar to most regular Retro 1s. You have that classic Nike Air tag on the tongue there as well. These come stock with these gray laces, but they also come with a pair of navy laces as well. In terms of the differences between an 85 cut and a regular Retro 1, you know, it's some of those little things that you really can't tell unless you have the shoes side by side in order to point out those differences. And I'm gonna do my best to pinpoint all those differences so that you know, have a better idea of what those are. Starting with the box, the 85s come in a similar box, however the color are just flipped. You have primarily a red box, and then the logo and branding are in black. The tissue paper is gonna be different. You're gonna have the Jumpman logo 23 and the Air Jordan wings as well. The shoes come heavily wrapped in a different type of tissue paper, so that's one little detail there that you notice when you unbox the shoe. You're also gonna get a classic Air Jordan card, which is gonna explain, you know, the technology and some of the features of the shoes, which is one of my favorite things of older Jordans. You would always get those cards. I wish Nike would continue the tradition and include these cards on every retro release, especially the OG colorways. That would be super cool. But I guess Nike is like, hey man, you can Google that stuff and look it up yourself. Another difference is the toe box. On the 85, the toe box seems to be a little bit longer and a little bit more narrow. The mudguard is also thicker than on a regular Retro 1. The midsoles on the 85s also have a different type of pattern compared to a regular Retro 1. And then around the mid panels, you'll see that the midsole kind of has like this little wavy look, where on a regular Retro 1, it looks more flat. On the inside of the 85s, you'll notice like a print. This is something that was used back in the day, and it was basically to give you like the sneaker code and also the size of the sneaker. The insoles on the 85s are definitely more premium than on a regular Retro 1, and then you'll notice that on top of the insoles, you have like that classic tag that they would use, especially when the shoe was a sample during the early stage of construction. They would put this similar tag, so that's a very cool detail that they did and added that on these 85s. On the lateral side of the 85s, where you find the Air Jordan wings, you're not gonna find the TM or the trademark stamp that you would find on a regular Retro 1. Also, I don't know if it's me, but I feel like the Air Jordan wings on the 85 looks a little bit smaller compared to a regular Retro 1. In terms of the design between both the 85s and a regular Retro 1, the 85 cut is a little bit higher, so around the ankle area, you'll notice that it's just slightly higher. I don't know, maybe about 1/4 of an inch higher compared to the regular Retro 1. And then finally on the outsole, the traction is pretty much the same, other than around the forefoot part of the shoe, around the tip part of the outsole. The star design that it has, to me they look like little stars. On the 85s, they do look thicker and have more grip than on a regular Retro 1. Another thing to point out is the shoulder boards on the 85s do look different than the ones on a regular Retro 1. Like, there's no cushioning on the strobo board of an 85. On the regular Retro 1, there is a little bit of cushioning on the strobo board. However, the insoles that they use on a regular Retro 1 is not as soft compared to the 85 cut. And that's pretty much it, guys, in terms of the differences that I was able to notice. If you know anything else, if you know another difference that I missed, definitely leave a comment below. In terms of sizing, I went true to size, similar to all of my Retro 1s. So if you're someone who already owns a pair of Retro 1s, just go with that size. I've heard people say that they do run a little bit bigger. I don't know, for me, they felt pretty much the same, to be honest. In terms of comfort and how they feel, to me, they feel pretty much the same as a regular Retro 1. Yeah, the leather does feel a little bit stiffer, so you will have to break that in a little bit more because of that thicker leather. But other than that, overall, they feel pretty much the same to me. So my final thoughts on these is, like I said, when I got them, it really changed how I felt about these. It wasn't really a shoe that I was crazy about or I really wanted to get. But once I got them in hand, it just really changed everything. You know, the leather, how it feels, you know, definitely that thicker cut leather. Definitely makes a difference. It's a shoe that's gonna last a very, very long time, and I'm excited to see how this leather ages over time, you know, because it's definitely gonna give the shoe a different look for sure. I also like this colorway very much, definitely very wearable, so I'm excited to wear these and rock these very soon. In terms of the construction, I really don't have much to say here. I think Nike really did a good job here. I know I've complained about recent Jordans that I've picked up, and you know, they look a little bit sloppy, the QC is off, but with these, Nike definitely did a good job. There's not really much to complain here at all. So with all that being said, let me lace these bad boys up and let me show you guys how they look on feet. So that's it for me, guys. Hopefully this video was able to show you a detailed look of the Retro 1 85 in the Georgetown colorway. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about these. And like always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. To all the new subscribers, welcome to the channel. Feel free to subscribe if you liked the video. I'll also leave a link to my Instagram page below where you guys can go follow me there as well. And that's it, guys. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.